bank of tickets to give away. We will do that in a little while. Eric in New Jersey. What's up, Eric?
Hey, Mike. How you doing?
Good. What's happening?
Not much. I'm just trying to get your opinion. Do you think the U.S. Open course is playing a little too tough? What's your opinion on that?
I mean, I don't think there is such a thing as too tough. It is what it is. I mean, the wind's blowing today. You're in a place where the wind can blow 25, 30 miles an hour. It's a course that, is set up as a U.S. Open course, which means you're going to have some very tough decisions to make. You're going to have some landing areas that are very dangerous. If you don't hit them, you're going to wind up in a really bad spot. Fast greens that are going to get faster because of the wind. You've had sunshine today. So all that leads itself to some very, very tough, course conditions. But if you're up to it, look at Dustin Johnson right now. He's 2 under through 5 holes. So, I mean, there's the best player in the world right now, and he's not having any trouble yet. Now, listen, Dustin Johnson could blow up in the next hole. But the point is, the last thing they want to see today is Dustin Johnson go out and shoot 4 under or 5 under and have everybody else do what they did today, because this tournament's basically blown apart then. Because that guy, he can be on his own planet as a player. He's the most talented player in the world, hands down. I don't even think it's debatable that he's the most talented player. Not always the best player, but he's the most talented. Mike in New Jersey, what's up, Mike?
Hey, Mike, I want to see who you think would win a major first, Fowler or Tiger?
Who?
Ricky Fowler or Tiger Woods?
Who would win one from here? I would give Fowler a better chance than Tiger now at this stage to win a major, because I think Tiger's got some stuff playing against him. Number one, physical stuff. Number two is age. I think so. Fowler, I think, has the game to win. He hasn't won yet. So I think I would, if you said to me, I want you to vote right now, what's going to happen first? Ricky Fowler win a major, Tiger win another major? I think Fowler will win a major first. And Fowler is a great putter. He can hit the ball pretty long. He's got a good game. He just has not put it all together yet in a major championship. I think he's clearly capable of doing it. It will happen. I'm not sure Tiger will ever win another major. I don't think Phil will ever win another major. He's 48 years old. I don't think he ever will. And I didn't like Tiger or Phil this week. I told you that. I did not see it coming. I did not think either of them would win. Now, I'm not saying I'm going to know who the winner is this week, but what I'm saying is I just didn't think that. I was surprised people were picking Phil as much as they were. I just think it's very hard. Rick joins us. What's up, Rick?
Hey, Mike. How are you today?
Good. What's up?
I'm a big Phil fan, and I was hoping this morning because of the rain yesterday that the early tee times would have a bit of an edge because of the maybe not quite as fast, but that just blew that theory right out the window, and I feel really bad for him at +7. But you think he's totally done at +7, or
yeah? First of all, I didn't think he could win anyway, but do I think he's going to? Do I think somebody +7 is going to come back and win this tournament? No, I don't.
Yeah.
No, I don't.
No, yeah.
I don't.
Even if everybody.
I don't think it +7, and I don't think Phil's capable of doing it. And I'll tell you right now, these other players right now, I'll tell you what they're doing. They're watching real closely, because if Dustin Johnson puts together a round here and goes 4 under par today, while the rest of the field's +4 and +5, this will be a very long procession all weekend with Dustin Johnson in front. He's already 2 under, and they better hope he comes back to the pack, because, he's capable of running away and hiding. Andrew in Port Jefferson. What's up, Andrew?
Mike, thank you as always.
What's up?
I want to make a quick point about Shinnecock, and then I got to vent about the Mets real quick. But it's so nice to see the U.S. Open back out there. It's such a unique climate, and the East End of Long Island is lucky to host the event. And I just think it's great. I love watching it, and I'm glad the conditions are tough. And in terms of the Mets, I am so sick and tired of this team at this point. I mean, I am thinking back, except for the second half of 2015, this is the most putrid offense for years and years. And I can't take it. Todd Frazier, I'm talking to my friend who's a Yankees fan last night. He doesn't think Todd Frazier's a problem. The Yankees traded for him last year when he was batting .206 for the Chicago White Sox. He's great for the Yankees as a clubhouse guy and a role player on a great team. He is horrible for the Mets. He's the problem. So is Jay Bruce. And what are we going to do? We got to fire Sandy Alderson, but the Wilpons have to sell this team.
They're not going to sell. They're not going to sell the team. And basically, I think they do have to shake the team up. I don't think there's any question. They have to do that. The problem with this team right now, the worst part is that it's an old team. It's an old team without a lot of good pieces to it. And that's a problem. And it's a team that is incredibly reliant on Cespedes. And if he doesn't play all the time, it really kills this team. Corey in Jersey, what's up, Corey? Tiger got it one back, so he's gone from 4 to 3 as he tees off. He might get dragged along with Dustin Johnson a little bit playing so well. Go ahead. What's up, Corey?
Hi, Mike. A pleasure. First time, long time.
Thank you.
And great to talk to you.
What's happening?
I know this sounds kind of crazy, but I had a trade that may work. I study baseball. I love it. And Stanton hits well at Shea Stadium or MetLife.
The Mets are not touching that contract.
You don't think so?
Not in a million
years. I was
years.
thinking Stanton.
Not in a million. First of all, he has a no trade. He has no trade. Secondly, the Mets are not. No way are they touching that contract. No chance.
Yeah, I just thought maybe for them to put up some money and
no chance.
And the way he hits.
You are right. He hits well there, but no chance are they paying that contract.
Yeah, I was just trying to throw something.
I understand, but there's just no way they're paying that contract. Not a chance. Kevin in Audsley, what's up, Kevin?
What's up, Mike? How's everything?
Good. What's up?
Good. Quick thing about Mickelson. I think next year he'll have a slight chance at Pebble Beach with the U.S. Open. But
I just think you got to remember he's almost 50 years old. Guys don't win majors at 50 years old. They just don't. I mean,
I know that.
I just think it's really hard to think he's going to win another major. That's all. That's not knocking him. I mean, he's had a brilliant career, but he's no longer a kid.
Right. You're right. I'm just saying that's the only possible chance. I agree with you about that, though. And quick with the Mets. Where are the Wilpons right now? Why don't they ever come out and say something?
Well, I mean, you're talking about Jeff because Fred doesn't speak anymore. So, I mean, well, I mean, that's just not his way. He sends Sandy out. He's always made Sandy the voice of the team. Sandy took the blame for it. Doesn't matter who takes the blame for it right now. It's, you know what? The Giants used to have a sign. The Giants in the old days, in the Parcells days, had they had signs up in the locker room all the time. They like those, the slogans, okay? And they'd always have them on the wall. And they had one that was in there forever. It said, expect nothing, do something. That's what the sign said. And you know what? That's what I think. The Mets have to do something. So there's times with a team where you have to take the bull by the horns, where you have to do something. They are in a place right now where you have to do something, whether it's something radical. So skip Alonso going to AAA, bring him right to the majors and put him at first base. See what happens. Who knows? Maybe catch lightning in a bottle. It would energize the entire fan base. Who knows? Maybe he does. And if he doesn't, so you slide him to AAA. Well, so what? He spends 2 weeks here. Who knows? Maybe he hits. Maybe you bring he and McNeil both. The second baseman. You're supposedly shipping them both off to AAA. Ship them here. Cabrera's a guy that would be better off. I understand he's had a good year for them. He could probably trade him into a contending team because he'd be a good jack of all trades for a contending team. Maybe that's the way to go there and then put McNeil at second base. I mean, the point is, do something. Make a trade for trade's sake. Sometimes you do stuff like that. Sully in Holtzville. What's up, Sully?
Hey, Mike, how are you?
Good, what's up?
Just before I make my point, I just wanted to let you know, you've been asking about that, mentioning that kid, Alonso. He's killing it down there, but he's got 20 errors in 81 games.
Well, I already talked to them about him, and he's on his way to AAA right now, and they're ready to move him to AAA, and they do have high hopes for him, but they're just taking their time, But right now, you're looking for offense, is what you're looking for.
I got you. Listen, Mike, you were talking last night, and it really made a lot of sense. I like the trade you proposed, where you started with Frazier, you went to Andujar, Frazier, Austin. I would add like a Warren and a Chance Adams, and I don't think that would hurt for DeGrom, and that would give the Mets 5 legitimate pieces. I mean, no matter
the Yankees would not dabble. I mean, they would not want to touch their bullpen if they could help it. And if the Yankees have gotten to the point, and a lot of people think they have, where Andujar is untouchable, As soon as that happens, listen, there's no trade between these teams anyway. We've been telling you all along. I understand people like to have a conversation about it. There's no trade between these teams. And if the Yankees now are going to make Andujar and Torres both untouchable, you're not getting, then there's nothing even to discuss. There's nothing to discuss. He's off the list. That's it. And I don't think they trade him anyway because they had told me they weren't trading him. I gather there's a enormous search going on now for Dustin Johnson's ball. So I believe the rule is you have 5 minutes to find the ball. I think it's 5 minutes on the clock to find the ball. And they are looking. You have the sound on it there, Mons? It is Dustin Johnson's ball they're looking for, right? I believe. I think they showed that rough there. He's in like the fescue, and they can't find the ball. He's in the kind of fescue where all you're going to be able to do is knock it back out in the fairway probably anyway. It's in so deep, but they have not found the ball yet, which would send them back to the tee. There you can see it go in on the camera. You know, with the cameras, you would figure it. Now, you would see the way that ball went in there, you could find it, right? I mean, it looks like the way you could see it go right in the... How somebody has to be able to... They're probably standing on it. I mean, somebody's got to be able to find it. I mean, they showed you right where it went in. Well, the way you have 40 people looking for it now, he'd have to take a drop anyway because, you know, any one of them could move his ball. I mean, you know, it's ridiculous now. They're scouring the thing for his ball now. Here's the Yankee lineup tonight. Hicks, Judge, Stanton, Sanchez. Sanchez back in the lineup, obviously, batting a cleanup. Torres moves up to 5. I would rather see Torres bat in the top. I'd rather see him bat in front of Judge. I'd like to see them, if they want Hicks or Gaudy to lead off, I would like to see Torres go to 2 and Judge to 3. I don't like him as a 5 hitter. I really don't in this spot, but that's where they are. Now here's what you have. Hicks, Judge, Stanton, Sanchez, Torres, Andujar, Austin, DH, Torreyes, is it short for Didi, Walker, is it first, and Herman. So that's what you have this evening. Against the lefty Snell. They did find it? Well, how then do you say that if they found who found the ball? One of the people or did...
I'm not sure, but they did say on the commentary that the people looking for it could step on it or touch it. Dustin and his caddy could not.
Right. So, but to me, I mean, if you have that many people trampling the ball, how are you going to ever know where the ball was? They shouldn't let all those people walk all over that, but they let people go all over looking for the ball. It seemed weird to begin with. So they found the ball. It's buried. I don't even think he can hit it. But with him, he's so strong, maybe he could hit it a couple of yards. But I can't figure that he's going to be able to get the ball out. Oh, so he's going to take a drop. Okay, so that's what he's doing. He's taking a drop. He's taking relief. Oh, is this a free drop? No, they can't give him a free drop there. Is that what he's getting? Is he getting a free drop? On what? Why would he get that? Because they kicked the ball? Was there a penalty there, guys? What are they saying? I mean, why would they give him a drop? I don't understand what's going on. I don't have the sound on, obviously, but I don't understand what's going on there. Why would they allow him to be able to drop the ball there? Why was he even allowed to touch the ball? They didn't allow if they couldn't find the ball and they didn't know the exact location, how would you not give him a penalty? You would have to give him a penalty. That's ridiculous. They're saying this is his second shot and they let him have a free shot and they let him have a free drop? Why is that fair? It's his problem to find the ball. It's not anybody else's problem. I don't understand why he would get to drop the ball. I don't understand why he'd even be allowed to touch the ball. That doesn't make any sense to me. Why? I have no idea why. If they say it on TV, why would they explain that he was allowed to drop his ball there? What was the reason? And if they say it's because those guys kicked it, well, why'd you let everybody in there? Why don't you just let him go in there and try and find the ball? I mean, he just knocked it out in a fairway anyway, but there's a difference there if he's knocking it out for 2 or he's knocking it out for 3. There's a big difference. He couldn't advance it, more than 10 yards. But I don't understand why he even got to find him. That's the weird. I don't understand why they let everybody in there. They should have said no one can go in there except him. Find the ball, and then you know what? We'll play on. But you got to locate your ball first. Doesn't make any sense because that's part of the golf course. It's not like a grandstand or something like that. It's not a man-made impediment. That's fescue. It seemed to me he was just given an advantage there for no reason. So the Yankees loading up with all the righties tonight against Snell. So that's where we have. So Hicks, Judge, Stanton, Sanchez, Torres, Andujar, Austin DH, Torreyes, short, Walker, first, and Rahman on the mound against Snell as Tampa comes into town. So it seems to me he got an advantage there for I don't know what reason. I really have to find out exactly what happened there. Steve in Bayside, what's up, Steve?
What's up, Mike? Let me throw out another name for the Yankees to target. Patrick Corbin of the Diamondbacks, 29 years old, free agent at the end of the year.
Right, but why would they make a trade when he's in first place?
No, Diamondbacks have slipped back. I think there's two teams ahead of them for the wild card.
They're 2.5 games in front in the West.
Not the last time I looked.
Well, we'll try looking today.
Okay. But
they have a 2-game lead in the loss column. They're 2.5 games in front.
Okay. Yeah, so the Rockies would obviously have to.
Arizona's won 8 of its last 10 games. They've gotten hot again, and they're in first place. So you can't take a picture from a first place team.
No, okay, yeah.
I also know he's a local guy. He wants to play for the Yankees. He's a guy who's always wanted to play for the Yankees. I understand if they were out of it, Steve, it would make plenty of sense. But if they're winning like they are now, they're not going to trade him.
No, they would have to fall back.
I'm telling you guys, I've heard. Now, St. Louis isn't out of it yet either. But if St. Louis fell out of it, I know that the Yankees like a couple of their pitchers, Waka, Martinez, guys like that, and they're young. But the thing is, the Cardinals would have to fall out of it, though.
Yeah, and also on Cole Hamels,
I'm not in love with him. I'm not in
love with him, especially against a tough lineup. And I'm just not sure. He's the type of guy you could definitely get because he makes a ton of money, and
could get him in a second. Yeah, and I'm not sure I want him.
Yeah, he's a guy that if they could just get somebody to pick up that salary, I think they do very, very well.
Oh, I totally agree. Listen, I think he's an easy get for the Yankees at any moment. Okay, but I don't really want him. I'm going to be honest.
No.
I don't trust him. He's not a guy to me that elevates things at all. I would be much happier in a game 3. I'd be much more confident with Tanaka than I would be with Hamill.
I think with Hamels, what you're looking at is if you're looking at, they're bringing up this guy, Johnny Lasagna. There's Domingo Germán. If you're looking at one of those guys, then you're going to say, okay, let's just go get Hamels. But
listen,
than that,
right, they're going to think they need listen, they've definitely planned this all along to get a pitcher. And I think they will try very hard to get a good pitcher. But that's why I believe they will wait, Steve, as long as they humanly can. Because by the mid to late July, you got to figure another 7-8 teams will drop out of it. So when that happens, at least it gives you a better pool to choose from as far as finding a pitcher. So I think that's the best way to look at it because then you definitely could add more teams into the mix.
Yeah, and the trade deadline is really not the trade deadline for the Yankees because it's really about the postseason.
Right,
so
correct.
You're going to want to hang on to as many of your chips as you can.
I agree.
And then that's
and
what
especially
the
since the Yankees have evidently been telling people that Andujar now is off limits also. So if you're going to make both of them off limits, now Torres is off limits, but if Andujar's also off limits, now you're saying, hey, we're in the business here to elevate and get a pitcher, but you're not disrupting our guys. We're trading guys who aren't part of our core, and those two now, Andujar's become a big part of the core, clearly, which is why Drury's a very unhappy, and I understand, we all understand, that guy is too good to be sitting there in the minor leagues.
Yeah, let's be riding the buses. Yeah.
The guy doesn't belong in the minor leagues. He's a good player. If he's on the Mets right now, he'd be their 3-hitter. Come on. He should be on the Mets. If I'm on the Mets, I'm trying to get him away. But the problem is, if you go to have that talk, it's going to get right back to the ground. If you ever go have the talk to have Drury, the Yankees with their surplus could help the Mets immeasurably. The question is, how do the Mets help them? They can only help them by giving them one of their big guys. Phil in Hopog, what's up, Phil? I still don't understand why Dustin Johnson got to touch that ball. That doesn't make any sense to me. But go ahead, Phil. What's happening?
Hey, what's going on, Mike? Beautiful day today, huh?
Yeah, what's up?
Anyway, man, so I try to be like a real positive Mets fan. I really do. I go to about 30 games a year, but this team is really starting to break me, Mike. I mean, I'm a guy who I go to games, and I have a bunch of patches on my jacket. People call me Patch Man. I'm trying to really get excited, but I'm looking at this team.
So they call you Patch Man, huh? What kind of patches are we talking about on your jacket?
I have about 50 patches, like through the years, like the Shea Stadium last season, a Shea patch to like 69 World Series patch and things like that I collected.
Gotcha.
And it's a fun way for me to enjoy the game when this team's playing like garbage. Okay, let's put it.
Do you wear do you wear it all weather? Like if it's 85 and sunny, do you wear your jacket?
Okay, I was trying to give a Mets point, but I'll give a little bit of a plug. So I actually do have like a suit jacket, but it's short sleeves.
Oh, okay.
So
short sleeves.
I'm prepared for both playoffs. I do make there.
Okay, and where do you display these? Like what section are you in?
412. I have a Saturday plan for 11 years.
Okay, got it. I got it now.
This team, and yeah, Mike, I appreciate it. Like I said, I'm a huge fan.
Gotcha.
But even this team, I don't think getting rid of Sandy Alderson, Mike, is really going to change anything. If they bring in a guy like John Ricco or things like that, it's like if they trade DeGrom, I could feel like it's going to be like Nolan Ryan. You don't know who you're going to get back. Or it's like trading Bruce from like last year. What are you going to get, a couple cash back? Like I feel like if they trade Cabrera, who are you going to get back doesn't really help this team in the long run.
Well, listen, you're only going to move a Cabrera for a prospect because you don't need him. That's the only thing. If you're trying to move a kid in and he's playing second base, you don't need him. So that's the main reason why. Dustin Johnson gets a bogey on that hole. He deserved a bogey. He hit a ball out it was unplayable. He deserved to get a bogey in that hole. Rocco in Newark. What's up, Rocco?
Hey, Mike. How are you?
What's happening?
Oh, man, these Mets. Okay, so my point is, the Mets used to be in on trades and free agency back in 98, and they used to be in with the Wagners. They used to get top, Delgados and Beltrons. But now they just go after these three-tier guys. And whose fault is this? It's the ownership. Wouldn't you agree?
Well, I mean, listen, they went out and they added some guys like Cespedes, went out and added guys like, Bruce. I mean, they made they brought Bruce back. We all thought that made sense. The guy had 36 homers last year. He's got 3 home runs. They brought Vargas in. How many games did he win last year? Vargas, 17, 16? So whatever he won, guy can't get anybody out. I mean, every move they made this past year, plus the injuries, and everything winds up being a disaster. 18 for Vargas last year. 18 wins last year. That guy's got an 80 ERA this year. Can't get anybody out. Joe in Williston Park. What's up, Joe?
Hi, Mike. I just got to say, I'm in and out of my car all day. I'm listening to sports radio. I cannot listen to one more Mets-Yankees trade proposition. The idea that the Mets are going to trade DeGrom to the Yankees is, you might as well say we're trading Hulk Hogan for Babe Ruth. These trades are just blowing my mind up. I can't listen to it anymore.
Well, I mean, we don't do that much of it, so I don't know about the rest of the station. I really can't answer for that. But you know what? We really don't do a lot of it.
Okay. Well, then I appreciate that. Appreciate that. Then I'll let you go and just keep listening. Thank you.
Well, I mean, but you're the one who brought it up. I mean, you called and tell me that you don't want it on, but you brought it up. Dave and Deal, what's up, Dave?
What's up, Mike?
Yeah.
Phone's running on low, but I want to say one question to you, Mike. Mike, Andujar, obviously everyone's seen what he's doing. He's been phenomenal.
Who?
With Andujar.
Oh, Andujar.
You just mentioned him. He's on lock. He got the locks on him, which I understand, understandably so, from the Yankee front office perspective. With Manny looming in free agency, maybe you put Andujar in a package. Is he going to go out and sign Manny?
I don't think the Yankees have. I don't understand.
No interest there, not playing that where you could sign the position.
Why would you want Matt? Why would you want, if you're the Yankees? Why would you want Manny Machado?
Because you get DeGrom under 4 years of control potentially.
What are you talking about?
So the money you're going to
what does Manny Machado have to do with DeGrom?
Well, I'm saying is if you could package Andujar as part of a package to the Mets, the money that you're.
Well, first of all, that's not going to happen. So, but why would the Yankees, when they have Didi and they have Torres, who they could move to shortstop, why would they go out and spend $300 million on a shortstop that they don't need? Whose numbers are going to be diminished? Whose numbers are going to be diminished in Yankee Stadium compared to what they are in Camden Yards, and who to me is going to listen. I like Manny Machado; he's a wonderful player. Now, like I said, he's not the best player, but he's a wonderful player. And he's having a terrific year, and his numbers are obviously stronger at shortstop than they would be anywhere else because you're making him a middle infielder, and having big numbers makes you a more important player. But I don't think the Yankees want to go out and pay that player. It doesn't make any sense. Here was the explanation. Dustin Johnson hit a ball into the fescue on hole 6. About 20 people were searching for it, including Tiger Woods. The guy who beat Tiger in the PGA Championship, Rich Bean, found the ball, but stepped on it in the process, giving DJ a free drop and a much better lie. Well, here's the thing. Why did the marshals allow anybody go in there except Dustin Johnson and his caddy? No one else should have been allowed to go look for that ball. He should have had to find the ball himself. They let the 30 people parade into that area and step on the ball. Well, how would they not step on the ball? So you allowed him. You basically you saved him a stroke because he would not have been able to. Maybe he wouldn't have found the ball, and he would have gone back to the tee, or number 2, he would have had a much tougher lie. You didn't deserve that. It made no sense. Why would you send a posse out for the ball? How would someone not step on it when you send 50 people into the area to step on the ball? I mean, it doesn't make any sense. Back after this.